The Galactic Council had a problem. For centuries, they had watched many planets, but none intrigued them as much as Earth. This small blue planet was filled with life and mystery. Its oceans, in particular, captured the attention of the Council. They had heard stories about Earth's oceans, but had never truly understood their power. One bright morning, a team of scientists from the Council gathered in their main chamber. The room was filled with strange devices, screens, and glowing orbs that floated in the air. The Council leader, a tall alien with shimmering silver skin, stood at the front. "We have received new data from our probes near Earth," he said. "It appears that the oceans are hiding something." Zog, a small creature covered in soft fur and big, curious eyes, was part of the team. He had always been fascinated by Earth. "What do you mean?" Zog asked eagerly. "What have we found?" The chief scientist, a wise alien with deep wrinkles and a serious face, replied, "Our probes detected unusual energy readings coming from the depths of the oceans. This could mean that there is advanced technology hidden beneath the surface." The room fell silent as everyone considered the implications. "We must investigate further," the Council leader declared. "If there is technology in Earth's oceans, we need to understand it." The team quickly prepared a plan to send a small ship to explore the oceans. Zog felt a thrill of excitement. He wanted to be part of the mission. As the ship launched into space, Zog looked out the window, watching the stars whiz by. Soon they reached Earth's atmosphere, and the blue planet appeared before them. The ship descended toward the ocean, and Zog's heart raced. They were about to uncover secrets that had been hidden for ages. Once they landed on the surface of the water, the team activated their scanning devices. The screens lit up with information about the ocean. "We are detecting strong energy readings about a mile below the surface," the chief scientist announced. "Let's dive deeper." The ship submerged beneath the waves, and Zog felt a mix of wonder and nervousness. The ocean was a beautiful place filled with strange creatures and vibrant colors. As they descended, the water around them became darker and colder. Soon they reached the depth of the energy readings. Suddenly, the ship's sensors began to beep rapidly. "We found something!" Zog shouted, pointing at a massive object on the screen. It was an ancient structure, covered in coral and seaweed, but the energy emanating from it was undeniable. The team was amazed. "This is incredible," said one of the scientists. "It looks like an underwater city." Zog's eyes widened. Could this be a lost civilization? They had to investigate further. The team prepared a small submersible to explore the structure. Zog was chosen to pilot the vehicle. "You can do this, Zog," the chief scientist encouraged him. "We need to know what we're dealing with." Zog nodded, determination shining in his eyes. As they approached the ancient structure, Zog marveled at its size. Towering pillars rose from the ocean floor, and intricate carvings covered the walls. "It looks beautiful," he whispered. "But why was it abandoned?" They entered the structure, and the atmosphere changed. The water felt charged with energy. Zog guided the submersible through dark corridors, feeling both excited and afraid. They passed rooms filled with strange devices, some still glowing faintly. Then they found a central chamber. In the middle stood a large glowing object. "What is that?" Zog wondered aloud. The device pulsed with light, and the energy readings were off the charts. They realized it could be a powerful weapon, hidden away for centuries. "This could change everything," the chief scientist said, awe in his voice. "We must report our findings to the Council immediately." As they made their way back to the ship, Zog felt a mix of emotions. They had discovered something extraordinary, but what would the Galactic Council do with this knowledge? He worried about the consequences of their find. Once back on the surface, the team transmitted their data to the Council. The leaders watched the images with astonishment. The Council leader's voice echoed through the chamber. "This is a significant discovery. We need to approach Earth carefully. If they have this technology, we must understand its purpose." Zog knew that this was just the beginning. The discovery of the underwater city would change everything, and the fate of both Earth and the Galactic Council hung in the balance. The Galactic Council was in a state of panic. After the enormous wave that had crashed down on their investigation team, the leaders gathered in their main chamber. The room buzzed with concern. Each leader was different. Some had colorful scales, others had bright eyes, but all shared the same worry. They had stumbled upon something far greater than they had expected. The council leader, a tall alien with shimmering silver skin, stood at the front. "We cannot ignore what we have seen," he announced, his voice steady but worried. Earth's oceans are not just water, they contain something powerful and dangerous. Zog, a small creature covered in soft fur, chimed in. I analyzed the wave's energy. It is unlike anything we have seen before. The oceans are hiding advanced technology, powerful weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Gasps filled the chamber as the leaders exchanged nervous glances. If Earth could control such power, it could threaten the entire galaxy. We must act quickly, said a leader from the planet Krenox, whose skin sparkled like stars. We cannot allow Earth to keep such weapons. Another leader, a wise old alien with deep wrinkles, spoke slowly. But attacking Earth could lead to a terrible war. We must learn more before we decide what to do. The Council agreed to send a new team back to Earth to gather more information. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the news of the alien investigation spread quickly. People were anxious. Scientists, military leaders, and government officials held urgent meetings to discuss what was happening. They had no idea their oceans were being watched by powerful beings from the stars. Back at the Galactic Council, Zog and his team prepared to return to Earth. We need to understand how the oceans work, Zog said. If we learn about their technology, we might convince the Council to use it for peace instead of war. With determination, Zog and his team flew back to Earth. As they entered the atmosphere, they marveled at the blue planet below. They landed near the coast, where the ocean met the land. The waves rolled gently, but the team felt a strange energy in the air. Carefully, they stepped onto the beach, their eyes wide with wonder. This place is incredible, one of the aliens said, watching the waves crash. But we must remember the danger here. Zog led the team into the water, using special tools to gather samples. As they swam deeper, the underwater world changed. Colorful fish darted around and strange plants swayed with the current. Suddenly, Zog spotted something unusual, an object shining in the sand. He swam closer and realized it was a piece of ancient technology, glowing softly. This must be part of the hydro weapon, Zog whispered, excited. He carefully picked it up and brought it to the surface. The others gathered around, amazed at the glowing device. Just then the ocean began to swirl. A massive wave formed in the distance, growing larger. Get back! Zog shouted as the team scrambled to swim away. They barely escaped as the wave crashed down, sending water spraying everywhere. Breathless, Zog understood that they had awakened something powerful in the ocean. We need to leave now, he urged his team. If we don't, we might not make it back to our ship. Hurrying back, Zog's mind raced. They had uncovered ancient technology, but what would this mean for Earth and the Galactic Council? He knew they had to warn the Council about the danger they had awakened. Once back on their ship, Zog quickly transmitted the information to the Council. We found ancient technology, he reported, but we have also awakened a force that could change everything. In the Council chamber, the leaders listened carefully. The stakes were higher than they had ever imagined. They needed a plan, and they needed it fast. The Council leader stood tall, gazing out at the stars. We must decide what to do next. If we do not handle this carefully, we could face a war we are not prepared for. As the Council debated their next move, the fate of both Earth and the Galactic Council hung in the balance. The awakening had begun, and the future was uncertain. The Galactic Council was buzzing with tension. After the shocking discovery of Earth's hydro weapons, the leaders gathered again to discuss their next steps. The atmosphere was heavy, and everyone understood that the situation was critical. They had to find a way to handle Earth carefully. The council leader, with his shimmering silver skin, stood at the front. We have seen the power of Earth's oceans. We cannot act recklessly. Instead, we should send an envoy to Earth to negotiate. His voice was firm, and he looked around the room. The leaders nodded in agreement, knowing they needed to be diplomatic. Zog, the small furry alien, stepped forward. I can go as part of the envoy. I understand the humans better than most. We need to show them we come in peace. He felt a surge of determination. If anyone could bridge the gap between their worlds, it was him. The council quickly prepared for the mission. They chose a small, sleek ship to travel to Earth, filled with advanced communication tools and data about their findings. Zog felt a mix of excitement and fear as he boarded the ship. Would the humans listen? Would they understand the gravity of the situation? As the ship soared through space, Zog studied the information about Earth. He learned about its history, cultures, and leaders. He wanted to be ready for anything. The flight felt long, but soon the blue planet came into view. Zog's heart raced. This was it. When they landed, Zog and the envoy were greeted by a group of human leaders. The humans looked nervous but curious. They knew about the aliens but had never met them face to face. Zog took a deep breath and stepped forward. "We come in peace," he said, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. "We want to talk." The human leaders exchanged glances before one stepped up to speak. "We appreciate your visit, but we are concerned." "What do you want from us?" The leader's voice was steady, but Zog could sense the tension. Zog explained their findings. "We discovered that your oceans are not just water. They contain powerful technology. We believe it could be a threat to the galaxy, but we want to work together to understand it." He watched as the humans listened intently, their expressions shifting from fear to curiosity. As discussions continued, Zog shared images of the ancient technology they had found in the ocean. "This device could cause destruction," he warned. "But if we learn to use it properly, it could also benefit both our worlds." One of the human leaders, a scientist, spoke up. "We had no idea our oceans held such power. We thought they were just a natural resource. Can you help us understand it?" Zog felt a wave of hope. This was the response he had been hoping for. Zog and the aliens worked closely with the humans, sharing knowledge and discussing their findings. They spoke about cooperation and how they could prevent a war. The humans began to see the importance of building a partnership. They realized that if they worked together, they could protect their oceans and share technology for good. However, not everyone was on board. Some military leaders among the humans still felt threatened. They argued that the aliens might have hidden motives. "We cannot trust them completely," one general said. "They could be here to take our power." Zog sensed the rising tension. He knew that if they did not reach an agreement soon, the situation could escalate. He spoke passionately. "We all want to protect our worlds. If we fight, we risk losing everything. But if we join forces, we can be stronger together." The council leader, who had joined the discussions through a video link, added his support. "We must not let fear guide our actions. Let us create a treaty to protect Earth and the galaxy." After hours of negotiations, a breakthrough came. The humans and aliens agreed to form an alliance. They would share knowledge about the oceans and work together to explore the hidden technology safely. With the agreement in place, Zog felt relief wash over him. They had taken the first step toward peace. As they prepared to leave, the humans expressed gratitude. "Thank you for coming to us with this information. Together we can ensure a safe future," one leader said, shaking Zog's hand. As Zog and the envoy returned to their ship, they looked back at Earth. The blue planet glowed in the distance, a symbol of hope. They had successfully opened the door to diplomacy. But Zog knew this was just the beginning. The real challenges lay ahead, and they would need to stay united to face them. The mood was tense in both the Galactic Council and on Earth. After the successful diplomatic talks, Zog and his team felt a sense of hope. But not everyone was convinced that peace was possible. On Earth, some military leaders were worried that the aliens could still be a threat, while the Galactic Council had factions that wanted to take control of Earth's oceans. As Zog returned to the council, he could feel the tension in the air. The leaders were debating their next steps. Some believed that they should monitor Earth closely, while others wanted to strengthen their military presence near the planet. The council leader, with his silver skin glinting under the lights, called for calm. "We need to find a balance. We cannot let fear dictate our actions." Meanwhile, on Earth, the military held an emergency meeting. The general in charge stood at the front, his face grim. "The aliens may have come in peace, but we cannot trust them completely. We must prepare for the worst. If they decide to take our oceans, we need to be ready to fight." The scientists who had been working with Zog urged caution. "We should continue our cooperation. The technology we discovered can help us," one scientist said, but the general shook his head. "We can't risk our future. We need to show strength." That night, as tensions rose, Zog sensed that something was off. He gathered his team and sent a message to the council. "We must act now to prevent a disaster. If the humans feel threatened, they might attack first." The council agreed and decided to send a peacekeeping force to Earth to ensure the situation did not escalate. The next day, a large fleet of ships from the Galactic Council approached Earth. They were sleek and powerful, filled with advanced technology. Zog felt a mix of excitement and fear as he watched the ships land. "We come in peace," he said to his team. "But we must show the humans that we are not their enemies." As the galactic ships landed, the Earth military prepared for a possible confrontation. General Thompson stood with his officers looking at the alien fleet. They think they can just come here and control our oceans. We need to stand firm. The atmosphere was charged, and both sides were on high alert. Zog and his team met with the human leaders again, hoping to ease the tension. "We did not come to threaten you," Zog insisted. "We want to work together. Our fleet is here to protect you from any dangers, not to invade." But General Thompson, still suspicious, raised his voice. "How do we know you won't turn against us? You have power we don't understand." The room fell silent, and Zog realized that they were at a breaking point. "Listen," Zog pleaded, "the real danger is not from us. The oceans hold unknown forces that could be unleashed if we do not work together. We need to join forces, or we will both face a disaster." He could see the doubt in the human leader's eyes, but he also saw a flicker of hope. Suddenly, a loud alarm rang out. The ground shook as a massive wave formed in the distance, rising higher and higher. The ocean roared, and both sides watched in shock. "What is happening?" someone shouted. Zog's heart raced. The awakening of the oceans had begun. The waves surged toward the shore, threatening to crash down on the meeting place. "We need to evacuate!" a human leader yelled. Zog knew they had to act quickly. "We can use our technology to stabilize the wave," he shouted, rallying his team. Zog and the aliens rushed to their ships, activating their systems to create a barrier around the incoming wave. As the humans watched, a shimmering shield formed in front of them, absorbing the wave's energy. It was a breathtaking sight, but it was also a race against time. As the wave hit the shield, it rippled but did not break through. Everyone held their breath, watching as the barrier held strong. Slowly, the ocean calmed and the danger passed. Zog turned to the human leaders, who were now staring at him in disbelief. "This is what we're capable of when we work together," Zog said, panting but filled with hope. "We can protect each other from these dangers." General Thompson's expression softened. "Maybe we need to rethink our approach," he admitted. "If we can learn to control the ocean's power together, we can ensure our safety." With the immediate danger averted, both sides began to communicate more openly. They realized that by working together, they could face any challenge that lay ahead. Zog felt a sense of relief wash over him. The showdown had turned into a moment of unity, a chance to forge a new path forward. As the sun set over the ocean, both the aliens and humans stood together, ready to face whatever came next. The bond between them had grown stronger, and Zog knew they were on the right path to a brighter future. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as Zog and the Galactic Council prepared for the next step. After the showdown with the ocean wave, the leaders of Earth and the Galactic Council were finally ready to meet. Both sides understood that they had to find a way to live together peacefully. The discovery of Earth's underwater technology had opened new possibilities, but it had also created fear. Zog arrived at the council chamber feeling nervous but hopeful. The room was filled with the leaders of the Galactic Council, and the human representatives were also present. The council leader stood at the front, his silver skin glowing under the bright lights. "Today we come together to discuss our future," he began. "The events of the past few days have shown us that we must work together to protect our worlds." General Thompson, the human leader, stood next to him. "We are here to find common ground," he said. "The technology in the oceans is a part of our heritage, but it is also a potential threat. We want to learn how to use it safely." The humans looked serious, but Zog could see a willingness to cooperate. The chief scientist from the Galactic Council stepped forward, holding a data tablet. "We have analyzed the underwater structure and its technology. It has incredible potential, but it also carries risks if misused." He paused, allowing the information to sink in. "We propose a joint research program. Together, we can study the technology and ensure it is used for the benefit of both our worlds." The humans exchanged glances. Zog noticed that some were still wary, but others seemed intrigued. "What would this program involve?" General Thompson asked, crossing his arms. "We will send a team of scientists to Earth," the chief scientist explained. "They will work alongside your experts to study the underwater technology. Together, we can unlock its secrets and create safeguards." Zog felt a surge of hope. This was the chance they had all been waiting for. "We can also share our knowledge of energy and technology," he added. "By working together, we can create a future where both our civilizations thrive." After some discussion, the humans began to nod in agreement. "This could work," General Thompson said slowly. "But we need to ensure that our nations are safe. We cannot let fear drive our decisions." He looked around at his fellow leaders, who murmured in agreement. The council leader smiled. "We understand your concerns. We will create a joint task force to oversee this program. Together we can build trust." The room filled with a sense of relief, and Zog felt a weight lift off his shoulders. With the agreement in place, Zog and the human representatives began to discuss the next steps. They outlined a plan for the research program, including timelines, goals, and shared responsibilities. The energy in the room was positive, and everyone felt excited about the future. As the meeting concluded, Zog and General Thompson shared a firm handshake. "I believe this is just the beginning," the general said, a hint of a smile on his face. Zog felt grateful. They had come a long way from fear and distrust to mutual respect and cooperation. Weeks passed, and the research program began. Zog worked closely with human scientists, diving into the oceans and studying the technology together. They discovered that the underwater structures were more than just weapons. They were ancient cities with rich histories and knowledge that could help both civilizations. The team found ways to harness the energy safely, creating new technologies that could benefit both Earth and the Galactic Council. As the scientists collaborated, friendships formed and trust grew. Zog felt proud to be part of this journey. One day, while examining a new energy source, Zog looked out at the ocean. It was beautiful, shimmering under the sunlight. He thought about how much had changed since they first discovered the underwater city. "We did it," he said to his human colleagues who were busy working alongside him. "We found a way to turn fear into hope." As they celebrated their successes, Zog received a message from the Galactic Council. "We have decided to honor Earth as a partner in the galactic community," it read. "Together we will face future challenges." Zog shared the news with the human team, and they cheered in excitement. This was a monumental step forward, not just for Earth and the Galactic Council, but for the entire galaxy. With newfound strength, Zog looked at his friends and colleagues. They had overcome obstacles and built a bridge between their worlds. "This is just the beginning of our journey," he said, filled with hope. "Together we can achieve great things." As they continued their work, Zog knew that their story would inspire others. They had proven that understanding and cooperation could conquer fear, and together they would forge a brighter future for all.